other day I was invited on HuffPostLive to talk about lady stuff. Things like Jill Abramson being let go from the New York Times and why women aren't going to the doctor as often as they maybe should. And, of course, whether or not women should be allowed 1 week every month in which we get to sit at home and binge watch Netflix all day while eating ice cream. Whether or not women should get menstrual leave is apparently the most important question of our time, at least judging by all of the messages I got from men after the segment telling me what a giant bitch I am. In the HuffPost Live segment, I objected to the actual premise of the question, should women get menstrual leave? I think that the way the question is phrased makes it seem as though we're discussing a perk that only applies to a small minority of people, perhaps unfairly. And that kind of question naturally makes people want to give a knee-jerk no response. But to me, the more important questions are, number one, are women sometimes negatively impacted by menstruation to the point of not being able to do their jobs? The answer to that is unquestionably yes. Nailing down an exact percentage is difficult, but many women have very painful periods, and there are also women with actual medical conditions like endometriosis. If a man were to complain of bleeding for several days to the point where he had to change his dressing every hour, while at the same time having diarrhea and incredibly painful intestinal cramping, we would definitely say that that is a serious condition that requires some amount of care. So yes, sometimes menstruation does negatively impact the lives of women. So then the second question is, should we allow workers to take time off if they feel that they are unable to do their jobs because of their health? I say yes, and science says yes as well. We have copious amounts of research to suggest that it's better for workers, for employers, and for society as a whole when we allow employees to take paid time off for illnesses. For instance, employees who are given unlimited sick leave actually take fewer sick days than employees who are restricted. Plus, they're happier and more productive. So the benefits here aren't just for workers, they are for employers as well. So when outlets like Breitbart attempt to misrepresent and oversimplify my argument in an attempt to say that employers would be worse off if they offer paid time off, remember that the actual science shows us that employers who offer paid time off have lower turnover rate, lower absenteeism, lower recruitment and training costs, and higher productivity. As I argued on HuffPost Live, this isn't so much a feminist issue as it is an intersectional issue of both feminism and workers' rights. Because when we focus on workers' rights, we actually help improve equality both in the workplace and at home. For instance, I also support paid family time so that men as well as women can take time off in order to care for a newborn, for instance, or to help care for an adult in the home, as men are actually quite statistically likely to have to do. Don't be fooled by the ignorant, soundbite-obsessed media that's trying to turn this into a mockable argument about feminists attempting to force employers to give all women a week off every month. If you see that sort of argument popping up on social media, please do your best to redirect the conversation where it belongs, on the science and on the actual arguments being made by people like me who just want to see working conditions improved for everyone in order to create a better society.